place months ago in WWE. How is it that when it's a backstage confrontation in AEW, it's right away, but WWE is months of shit, but they've had to Jade Cargill for TV. It was a confrontation involving Jade and Shayna Baszler. And this is what Dave said. It's been confirmed by half a dozen people that it happened, but nobody went into details past Jade had rubbed enough people in the Raw Women's division the wrong way, and Baszler was wanting to fight her until management found out and calmed the situation down. The time frame was when they were doing Baszler and Stark against Belair and Cargill matches. I don't know what in particular happened other than it wasn't just one thing, and the belief is that some of this stemmed from the inside the ring in those matches and some did not. Although one female star said they believe the tension within the SmackDown side was worse than the Raw side. I love how he just casually throws that last part in there, because that could read so many different ways. Like when I first read that closing line there, it makes it sound like just having nothing to do with Jade. It's just like in general, the tension on the SmackDown women's side in the locker room is far worse. So like, is that what he's saying? Or is he saying that it's even worse with the women on SmackDown that they don't like Jade? I don't know. Kind of a Dave special where he just kind of throws it out there and then it could be taken so many different ways. Fightful had more on this. This is not something that Dave just pulled out of his ass. There is smoke to the fire here. Sean Ross Sapp says that they asked WWE talent about the incident shortly after Jade was written off TV, but those in the locker room had been quiet about it. It was claimed that Cargill took issue with something that happened, and the word around the locker room was that she said something to the effect of Baszler needed to learn how to work, which would be a hell of a thing for Jade Cargill, of all people, to say to Shayna Baszler, who's got about 5 years on her in the ring, if that actually happened. Fightful was told it stemmed from the match in Scotland where Cargill tapped out in what was not supposed to be the finish of the match. So that was the Clash of the Castle match. It was Bianca and Jade defending their tag team titles against Baszler and Zoe Stark and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And that was the match where Fire and Dawn, they won the titles. I remember that match. It started to fall apart after Jade got the hot tag into the match. And if you remember, she slipped on the rope. She was trying to springboard and she face planted. And she was not the only one to slip on the ropes that night, but she slipped and fell. And then later on, Baszler got her in the Kirifuda clutch. And Jade immediately starts tapping on Shayna's arm. But the referee didn't call it because Jade was not supposed to tap. Right? My guess is Shayna had the hold on too tight. Jade was trying to signal that, communicate that to her. That's what I said on the sound off when I reviewed it. Otherwise, I just couldn't figure out why she would have been tapping. So that's going on. Then Bianca is coming in with a 450 to try to break it up, but she lands with her knees right in Shayna's back. So it got real ugly there in those final few minutes. But Fightful also said that Jade was said to be more disappointed that night in herself for how things played out, and she was apologetic backstage. So did she go off on Baszler not knowing how to work, or was she apologetic and blamed herself for it? We're kind of getting conflicting messages here. At least one talent in the locker room mentioned that the promo where Jade returned and said the locker room was full of wolves in sheep's clothing was taken personally by a number of talent as they kept the issue between she and Baszler quiet. Now, if you're asking yourself what promo are they talking about here, it's in reference to a video promo. This wasn't even on TV, I don't think. This was something that Jade posted. I mean, it was professionally shot or edited, whoever did it. Actually, I think Ricky Starks got a credit on it. Because Ricky and Jade are very good friends, but I think Ricky was credited. But it's a video promo that Jade posted on her social media saying, "There are wolves in the shape of women all around me." And apparently talent backstage took this as a personal shot, and it reopened old wounds. I saw Chelsea Green tweeted something saying, "Oh, imagine calling your coworkers wolves while demanding respect." And I'm just over here like, and then she posted a photo of herself at home lounging out with all of her dogs. She also had heat because talent had heard that Jade asked for the holiday tour off at the end of last year, but they were told the holiday tour was mandatory. Meanwhile, WWE and Jade, they have claimed that she was injured. Multiple talent, they don't believe that. They doubt the validity of that claim, that's why she was off TV for so long. She was actually hurt. Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, has always maintained that there was no real injury. Sapp clearly disagrees with Johnson's reporting and says, if she wasn't injured, if what Mike is saying is true, then I guess that they worked the creative team, they worked the medical team, they worked the PC staff, they worked all of Jade's closest friends and coworkers, and they worked all the other people involved in the storyline itself. Don't you just love some good IWC reporter drama? Now, it could just be as simple as she wanted time off with her family over the holidays, and if they gave her special treatment, I could see how that might breed jealousy from the other women on the roster. But if that's the case, then they should be upset with the company, not with Jade. It's like Hogan's WCW contracts, right? They were bonkers. If you ever find copies of them online from whatever lawsuit it was, like they're insane. The things he was promised and the things that they promised him. You don't think if any of those other wrestlers could have gotten the deal that Hogan got, that they wouldn't have jumped at the chance to have it and taken it in a heartbeat? Right? That's not something to be mad at Hogan about. Be mad at Eric Bischoff. Be mad at WCW for giving it to him in the first place. So if this was something that Jade negotiated and they gave it to her, then blame management for giving her preferential treatment. And if that's not the case, if that has nothing to do with any of this, and if she really was injured, then the woman was injured. She couldn't wrestle. She wasn't medically cleared. I don't know what you want her to do. I mean, this honestly all sounds like much ado about nothing. Really. I mean, the subtweeting online is silly, but it's not like there was some big blow up in the back. Someone got sucker punched and there was a big pull apart brawl. People were breaking furniture. Jade was secretly suspended, and that's why she was off TV for 3 months. She got suspended for 90 days. Now it all makes sense, right? That's not even what we're talking about here. I think this got blown up into something stupid, but people love drama. And if you're wondering, well, why is Dave reporting on something that's months old? Like, why did he put the Observer Leak, right? It's not because Dave woke up one day and decided, you know what, I think it's time to report on this stuff from 3 months ago. It's because there's someone in that WWE locker room that intentionally wanted to leak it after Jade came back. Maybe that promo that she posted touched a nerve, and that's what did it. But Dave reported it because someone there intentionally fed it to him now. That's why.
What's up, guys? Dimitri Vegas here. My brand new track, 2 Times, together with Steve Aoki, is available now on TikTok.